Get ready, get ready, get ready. Hold on to your hat, fasten your seatbelt, and tie down your wig. You're tuned into the Kathy Brooks Show, where you will gain the knowledge to unleash your superpower. At the Kathy Brooks Show, you will be challenged. You will be inspired to action. You'll be given practical tools, and you will be transformed. Hello, everybody. Well, today is May 8th, and it is Mother's Day. Welcome, welcome, welcome. You have entered the Kathy Brooks Show, and here we talk about spirit, soul, and body, and all things related to life experiences. And our goal is to equip you with tools that you can take away and apply to your everyday life. So, welcome. Thank you for stopping by. Those of you, it's your first time. Thank you. Those of you who are coming back and joining me again, welcome. And with that, we're going to get right into it and get started for today. So, like I said, happy Mother's Day. Today is Mother's Day. It's May 8th. And we're going to do a quick little show today. And today I'm going to talk about a message to moms. A message to moms. So, I always like to start the show with a quote, and today is no different. We're going to start with a quote. And the quote for today is actually not really a quote, it's a scripture. And the scripture is Psalms 31, 28, and 29. It says, her children will rise up and call her blessed. Her husband also, he will praise her by saying, there are many fine women in the world, but you are the best of them all. And I hope that that's a sentiment that resonates with you. And I'll talk to you more about why I chose that quote as we go forward. So, like I said, today's Mother's Day, and I want to talk a little bit about Mother's Day. I am a mom. I'm a mom of 3, 2 boys, 1 girl, and today's been a good day. I hope today was a good day for you, and that you got a chance to enjoy your family, friends, loved ones, and I don't know. You don't have to be a mom of, you could be a pet mom, you could be a stepmom, auntie mom. Moms come in many, many different forms. So whichever one you are and however you're celebrating, I hope it's a good day for you. I was a little bit curious about, Mother's Day and how it started and how we began to start looking at celebrating this day. So I went and I checked it out and see how that this even came about. So what I found was there was a woman, her name is Annie Jarvis, in 1902. What she did was she got women together in groups to promote friendship and health, and they got together and talked. But when she lost her mother, she held a memorial to honor her. And what she found was that this tradition kept going and it spread throughout the country. And in 1914, our president of the United States, Woodrow Wilson, officially created it as a holiday. And some of you all may not know, but Mother's Day is also celebrated all over the world. So that's exciting. Wherever you are, we all can celebrate this great day because mothers are very important. And that's what I want to get into today. And I have a message to moms, but it's going to be based on, I always say I can only speak on some of the things that I've learned and what I've kind of experienced and some wisdom that has been spoken into me over the years. So I wanted to share that. And I'd love it if you can chime in even now or, have a comment for me later. That would be awesome. So I first want to start with some of the things my mother taught me, or some of the things that she used to say to me, and that really helped me along the way. my kids aren't little babies anymore, but they're not, they're young teenagers. But being a mother for me has been a great joy in my life. It's not without its trials, it's not without its struggles, but I don't know anything in life that's just, you know, there's going to be challenges, especially if you've never done this before. Um, I don't know about you, but when I came home from the hospital, I had, a few diapers, the little sample bottles they gave me, but I never got that manual. Um, they must have missed it, but we didn't get a manual on how to do this. So, each child is a unique blueprint. So you learn as you go. This is on the job training. Uh, so everybody's method is different. And I just want to get into it. And let's talk about some of the things that I learned as a mother. Well, we're going to talk about some of the things my mother said to me. Lisa says, yes, Lord, on the job training, indeed. Yes, yes, yes. So some of the things my mother taught me was, one of them, I remember I was preparing, my children were young, and I wanted to, give them a good foundation, my background, growing up in church, Baptist, whatever. And, we went to church. My mother sent us to church, Sunday school, Starlight Band, and all that good stuff. And I believe I had a good foundation. It wasn't always, it wasn't picture perfect, even with dealing with issues with the church and the treatment and how people treated us. But overall, we had a good foundation. And I wanted to do the same for my children, but um, going to church and everything, but I was feeling a bit overwhelmed. I remember the day I was feeling overwhelmed. I was trying to do children's church, be a teacher, sending my own kids to church. I was feeling very overwhelmed. I had 3 young children. And I remember I was talking to my mother. I don't even know how we even got on the subject, but the first thing she said to me, I guess she could sense that I was a bit overwhelmed. She said, um, you are your child's first teacher. So you can't really depend on it to come from the outside. You are the first teacher, you are the first example. So it's important for you to focus in on that. And she said that there will be a time where you will be able to pour into other people, other children, and all of that. But sometimes you have to focus in on being the teacher for your own children first. So that taught me something to balance. It taught me how to balance, how I could participate in other things, but I needed to be mindful that I already had a platform and to take care of that. So that was one of the lessons that I learned. The other thing was my children were starting to get older, and they were starting to get older, and I noticed, new technology. There was new technology. So it was something, cell phones, the way information was available, readily available. And, you can look around and see how things have changed. Those of you that have children, it's not the same when you was a child. Yeah, the toys you play with then are different than what they play with now. So one of the things my mother had pointed, she said it, but I had to really go back and think about what she said. She said, you have to raise your children in the generation that they're born in, not in the generation of your grandmother or yourself. Not to say that you don't respect, the struggles and challenges and all the things that they had to go through, but you have to look at where the child is currently now, and deal with what issues they may be coming up with and the struggles that they're having to deal with in the generation that they're in. They're not growing up in the same generation I grew up in, so their struggles are going to be different, their challenges are going to be different. And sometimes it really it bothers me a little bit when people say, well, I didn't have this and I didn't have a cell phone and I didn't have that. No, you didn't, because the generation, that technology wasn't there. But we have to teach our children how to use these things, and they they could be assets to us. And cell phones have been an asset. They have changed a lot. It's a paradigm shift. It's with the advent of this iPhone and all this other good stuff. There are some advantages that we didn't have opportunity to take advantage of, but our children do. So that was one of the great advice that she gave me. Okay, and one thing she always used to say was, "If you lie to me, you'll lie to anybody." So you have to be careful, because sometimes your children can go through phases where they they test boundaries. They may try to not tell the truth and see how far they can go with that. So um, you know I'm not trying to tell people how to parent their children, because we all know our child. We know what kind of boundaries you need to set with them. What sets them off, what triggers them. And if you have multiple children, that each one of them have their own personality. What works on one child may not work on another one. So we all have a unique journey in parenting. And then the other thing, the so that's 1, 2, 3. I have four things. The last thing was, and this one kind of set me free. It allowed me to, well, it's two other things. One is, what we're doing as mothers and as parents, we're doing God's work. Because we have little minds, little people that we are influencing on a daily basis. I don't know how much more powerful that could be. Uh, we have the power to influence, we have the power to encourage, and it's all on the inside of us. We don't have to look outside for it. And when we do have challenges and there's things that we don't know or we don't understand, we can always get help. We can always ask. So I just want to encourage those young mothers, or older mothers, or even if you're having some challenges. Today, there's lots of information. There's lots of ways you can get knowledge in any gaps that you're having. So let's go on to the next part. And in this part, I want to talk about some things that I learned. And those were some things that my mother said to me that I've kind of incorporated in my mothering journey, because it is a journey. We learn as we go. We learn, like I said, on the job. And when you started, this was, I'm talking about me. When I started, it was all foreign territory. Not that I wasn't around children, not that I had nieces and nephews. It's one thing to babysit and keep people, but it's another thing for a child to be with you all the time and you're responsible for them. That's a whole nother story. That's a whole nother ball game. But for me, it has been a great joy. It has been a great joy. And the things that I've chosen to endure, or let me say this. I want to shout out my kids right now, because they have been a joy to me, and they are great kids. And I really appreciate them, and I thank them for, just hanging in there in this journey, because it's not always been easy. There's been challenges that we faced, but the good thing is we faced them together. So, and some of you all, it's Mother's Day, but it's also like Auntie Day, Godmother Day, Great Grandma Day. All these, it's time, I think, for us to just celebrate all the women in our life. There are some women who may not have birthed a child, but they are definitely mothers and mother figures to somebody. They have spoke wisdom in the people's lives, and I think they should be on lifted up and celebrated as well. So let's see. The next thing that I've learned to do, and some there has been wise women who have spoke things in my life that I've learned to incorporate in my journey. So if I can be that to another woman, young, old, that may be dealing with a struggle in their parenting journey, then I'm more than happy to be that conduit to speak a good word to somebody. And don't feel like the worst thing we can do, comparison at in any phase. Like if we're comparing, our looks, we're comparing our parenting style, we're comparing being a mother. This person is doing this and this and that. It, it's There's many opportunities to fall into the trap of comparison, but um, I just say to you, don't fall into that trap. You may look at someone and admire some of the things that they do or how they handle things, and you may learn from them. But that doesn't mean you need to compare yourself and try to do all the things that they're doing. Because, like I said, you know your child. You know what works for them, what doesn't work for them, and you don't know what they don't know what challenges you may be facing with your own child. So don't fall into the trap of comparison. And that's all I want to say on that. All right. So the next thing is talking about, oh, let me go back to some of the messages that I was going to give. One is you're doing God's work. And sometime I know along this journey, we as mothers, we feel like we're undervalued, underappreciated. But I just want to share a story. When I was going through a trial, a short little stint when I was separated from my children because of some, I shared all this in my very first episode. But when I was talking about the challenge when I was living with my sister, because, I was homeless at the time, and my children had moved with their dad. So I was struggling. I was struggling because I was feeling a pain that I never really felt before in my life. Not being with them, not being around them on a daily basis. But, I was like, Lord, this is hard. I don't have anything I can give them. I was like, I don't have anything that I can give them. And during my prayer, I heard, give them you. And I just wanted to say to anybody out there struggling, saying, I can't buy them anything. I can't do this. I can't do that. Give them you. You are enough. You are enough. Show up. Give them everything that you have on the inside, everything that you have, every lesson that you learn, every talk to them. Just be there. I tell you, that can go further than any toy. It'll go further than anything that you can get on the outside from the store, anything like that. Give them you. And that was a very, very valuable lesson to me. And sometimes even doing that is a struggle, especially if you're going through something yourself. But if you show up and you make the commitment that, yes, I'm going to give them me, I'm going to give them the love that I have in my heart, then you have done a great thing. You have done a great thing if you can do that. So just to reiterate, you are enough. You are enough of what you have. And what else did I want to say? The other thing I just want to talk about is, there are some people out that have, they may have challenging relationships with their mother, or they may not be on good terms with them, but, and you have children. It's okay. It's okay. Not everybody has the same background. My hope is that whatever it is, that it can be worked out. And if it's not worked out, just live your life, and hopefully at some point it can be worked out. And if you need any help, like this month also is mental health awareness. So if there's things you need to talk about, you need a friend, you need some counseling, I would advise to seek that out, because life is short and we don't want to live with regrets. We don't want to live with the fact that we could have resolved some things, and we could have took care of some things. We don't want to live with that on our hearts. So that's all I wanted to say about that. And I don't want to belabor any this and go long, but I just wanted to come on and share my heart about motherhood and my very simple thoughts on it. And one thing I didn't say, two things that I learned that I didn't share yet. So I'll tell you now. One is I've learned to, pray for your children. I pray for them, pray with them, read to them, all the things. And I pray for their future. I pray for their mates. I pray for their friends, all of their relationships, and all the things. But two of the biggest things that I always, I talk about here is a seed. In my first episode, I talked about, God uses a seed system. And I think that's true in every part of our life is a seed. For instance, when I said earlier that we are our children's first teacher, we plant the seed. We plant the seed of encouragement. We plant that seed of inspiration. All the things that that child learns is seeds that we plant in them. So that's why our job is so important. And the things that we say, the advice we give our children, at some point, it seems like we say the same thing over and over and over again. But sometimes it takes that for them to get it. But one of my prayers is that the things that I say, and I wrote my children, that they would meet someone or run into someone that echo that same thing, that same belief, that same value. And because sometimes, even though you say it over and over again, they don't receive it from you. Maybe because you're mom, maybe because you're just close to them. But my prayer is always that they run across somebody that echoes the same sentiment, and it will resonate with them. They get it. And that would bring me so much joy. And, you can take that and you can start believing that for yourself and for your children. And one of the things in sharing some things I learned, I can't not share some of the things that I missed and what I've also had to learn. I come from a large family, and we were not necessarily so super affectionate, but that's something I had to learn. I had to learn to be more affectionate with my children. I mean, like more loving. So that was a wall that had to come down, and I still work on it. But because my mother had so many children, if you were fed and clean, that was your love and affection. But the challenge for me has been just loving on them. I mean, not that it doesn't come naturally, but physically showing them. And it's been a good thing. It's been a great journey. And I just wanted to share that with you all. So I think I might have said everything I wanted to say today. I don't want to stay before you long, because I know that you all have activities going on and you may be enjoying your family. And I just wanted to get on and wish everybody a happy Mother's Day, and that this day will be special to you, and it gives a chance for those people in your life to showcase you and to celebrate and encourage you as we celebrate and encourage each other. So it's about, been talking for about 20 some minutes. So we will go ahead. Let's bring in some announcements. I want to make some announcements before it gets too late and I forget. Oh, so our announcements for actually is for this month is the Listen Up Challenge is still on, but if you would like to go ahead and register, that would be great. And go ahead and subscribe to Stunner Radio, because when you subscribe, you get the link and the notification about when the show is coming out. And you can click on that link and view it live and put in your questions. And we're having a new guest next week, Dr. Pamela Sanders. I'm really excited to have her on. She, when I first met her and had an opportunity to talk to her, I just had a connection with her, and I wanted her to come on and give us some wisdom. She talks about the heart and heart math and the genius of the heart. So I'm excited to have her come on. Also, we are coming to the end of this season. This season will be ending at the end of this month. But stick with me. Stick with me. I'm coming back, but there's going to be a lot of new things, a lot of new changes, not just with my show, but with the full Stunner Radio. We're having new programming, new and exciting changes. I think you're going to love it. I think you're going to love the things that we are working on. And one other great thing that we have that's right now is brand new. That is, we have Stunner Magazine. Stunner Magazine is premiering this month, and our general manager is on the cover, and she looks amazing. She looks amazing. We have some talent and some cover girls, and you all, I'm so proud and so excited to be a part of this team, because it's people that they challenge you to up level yourself, to really dig into your creative side. And I'm excited to do that. And I'm excited to bring you new programming, new ideas, new things that will bring the message that I'm trying to bring in a better way. I'm always about how to make it simple, how to make it for your Wednesday. What does this look like on a Wednesday? What does spirit, soul, and body have to do with me on my daily walk every day? How does that look when I go to work? How does that look when I'm dealing with my children? How does that look when I'm cooking dinner? And I like to bring it home. I like to bring it home to where you don't have to have so many questions. You'll have an answer, and you take that answer and start applying it immediately into your life. And as you do it on a daily, regular basis, it looks just like your Wednesday. It looks just like all the rest of the things. And then you will start to see changes happen in your life. And that's what I'm all about. If it's just one thing, if it's the way that I say something, if it's the way that I don't say something, I want to, be able to help in not just help, but to serve. My job here is to serve you, and because you are part of my community, you are part of the team. If you're watching, you're part of the team, and I love to hear your feedback. I love to know, what you think. Do you have any suggestions for shows? Would you like to be a part of the show? Do you have things that you're working on, projects that you're working on? I love to highlight you. I love to say that you were a viewer, a listener, and now you are on the show. How great would that be? I mean, that would be so exciting. So in order to do that, I need to hear. I need to know, because there's no way for me to know what's in your head unless you tell me. So with that, let's do a real quick summary. Oh, I said that I was going to talk about why I chose this quote. And it's Proverbs 31, 28 and 29. Her children will rise up and call her blessed, her husband also, and he will sing her praises, saying, there are many fine women in this world, but you are the best of them all. And the reason I chose that one is because even in challenging times, if you're having, maybe some challenges with your children, or, everything is not going quite right, I think the scripture will speak to you to say, you can prophesy your future by speaking those things that may not even exist right now. You can say, my children will rise up and they will call me blessed. And even if your husband is not speaking those things, your husband, your mate, someone else that's important to you in your life, that they will rise up and give you praise and honor, and say that there are many women in the world, but you're one of the best of them. So that's something that you can think about and say, yes, I want that in my life. Yes, I want, people my children to see me like this. And it's possible. It's possible. If it's not, begin to speak that scripture, and you'll begin to see it manifest in your life. And I wanted to include that because it's been a scripture that I always said that my children will rise up and call me blessed. Not because, there's a promise in the Bible that says that when you honor your mother and father, you will have long life. And I want my children to have long life, and I want to have long life. So that's a seed that you can plant. That's a seed that I can plant, and it will grow. And the harvest of the seed is long life. So I'm so excited to share that with you. All right. What else can we do? I think we have talked about everything I wanted to talk about today. It's short and sweet. And that's all I wanted to do today. And again, I want to wish you all happy Mother's Day wherever you are in the world. If you're a mother, if you're a grandmother, if you're an auntie, godmother, stepmother, whichever capacity you are, and someone, you're pouring wisdom into someone, you are maybe considered a mother in their eyes. I just want to celebrate you and thank you for tuning in. And that's all we have for the day. And look forward to seeing you next time. And thanks for watching. Go ahead and like, comment, and subscribe. And to my friends, I pray that you will prosper in all things and be in health just as your soul prospers. Goodbye. Thank you so much.
Introducing Stunner Magazine, a lifestyle publication and companion to Stunner Radio's weekly broadcasts. Stunner Magazine features positive images of the Black community and inspiring stories to uplift and entertain. With our Artist Spotlight and Stunner of the Month, we strive to introduce you to the most intriguing rising stars in music, fashion, and beauty. Check out our May edition, available now exclusively on Issue.